Hi everybody, it's Dr. Winnie and I'm here with my next installment of Sunday Dinner. So I decided today to go with somewhat of a Mexican theme. That's not a cuisine that I cook a lot, but I love it, and so I decided that I would do that today. So we had several things on the menu that I wanted to make. The first was a spicy Mexican tortilla soup. And I've had tortilla soups before and I've liked them. Some of them were kind of bland. And so I just wanted to see what this recipe was like. And as it turned out, I actually had to really spice it up more than what the recipe called for in order to get it to taste the way I wanted. But you start out by cooking some chicken breasts. And so I broiled them the night before, had them nice and ready, shredded them up so that they were ready. And then in a Dutch oven, I cooked some onions and got the room nice and fragrant. Used a little olive oil to get them going, and then added the chicken that was already shredded, some diced tomatoes, and black beans that were rinsed, some corn, some tomato paste, and just really cooked it down. And I also added 32 ounces of chicken broth. It called for a Mexican infused broth, but honest to goodness, I couldn't find that in the store. So I just sort of made up for it by adding some chili powder and some chipotle pepper, so I could try to kind of correct for what was missing. I've never seen a Mexican infused broth before. I'm going to keep my eye out for it though. But anyway, I just kind of let that simmer down. And then when it's time to serve it, I'm going to sprinkle some tortilla chips, and I've got some slices of lime that we can put into the soup as well. My parents love soup, so I know that's going to be a hit for them. The next thing I made was a hot tamale pie. And I just like the name, hot tamale. So I decided I would make that. So what it requires were several layers in order to put this together. There was the ground beef layer, and so I had to brown the beef. I had to dice up some poblano peppers, and this was the first time that I'd cooked with those before, and they are really hot. But I diced those down. I needed a jar of salsa and some chipotle pepper again. So I made that, and that was going to be the meat portion of this pie. Then I used some Jiffy cornbread mix, 2 packages. Actually, I wound up using 3, but made it just as the instructions and tell you to, with an egg and 1/3 of a cup of milk. I always add a little sugar to mine because I think that my the taste without it is just not quite the same. So I tend to add a little sugar. So what you do is you just layer it. You start out with one layer in an 8 by 13-inch pan that you've sprayed, and with a little oil to kind of keep it from sticking. So you put the one box that's mixed up of the cornbread muffin mix in there, and then put a layer of corn, some fresh corn, or you can use frozen. I bought frozen. And then you go in with a little cheese, and then the ground beef mixture that you've made. And then on top of that, more of the cornbread mix, but this is also mixed with a lot of cheese as well. And then you just cook that in the oven for about an hour. And mine sort of came out rather big because I actually added another box of the cornbread mix because I couldn't get the one box to really cover all of the ground beef. So I knew it was going to rise, and it did, but it still looks great. And I'm hoping that my parents are going to really love that. And then the third thing that I made were crispy beef tacos. And I love corn tortillas. I think I've mentioned that before. I'm not a big flour tortilla person. But anyway, cooked the beef and cooked some onions in there, a couple packs of taco seasoning, and some tomato paste, a little pinch of sugar. And that was the taco filling. And then the corn tortillas, you just brown them in a skillet. I used a little olive oil, got the skillet hot, and just kind of lightly brown them, and then put the meat seasoning inside and folded it over and put it on a container that's got paper towels in it. I didn't put the cheese in it, the lettuce, the sour cream, all the other stuff that's going to be a part of it, because I've got to take this over to my family's house, and so I want to have it nice and fresh. So it's ready now. It'll sit in their oven, and then when it's time to eat, we'll take it out and then put all the fillings on the inside. And then for dessert, I decided, I'm on this puff pastry kick. So I found this mini apple pie recipe using puff pastry. So it really very simple. You just put some caramel in the bottom of the tins once you've layered the puff pastry in the muffin tins, and then you put whatever filling you're going to use. I use some apple, but I also use some peach in some of them as well. And so you've got the caramel sauce, you've got the filling, and then you just cut the puff pastry and then twist it at the top and makes it kind of like a little rosette at the top. And I put a little cinnamon sugar on top. The chef that was making this recommended that, and put it in the oven. And that was it. And it cooked and it cooked and it cooked. I found that I needed more time than what they called for. I needed probably closer to about 40 minutes, even though the recipe called for about 20. So, because I want the bottom to be nice and crispy. I don't like a doughy crust. So anyway, that's done. I also made some vanilla ice cream. I made that last night. And I do that a lot. It's so simple. I love it. You just take a pint of heavy whipping cream and just mix it until you develop some peaks. Then put in a can of sweetened evaporated milk, a teaspoon or two of vanilla extract, mix it all up, put it in a container, stick it in the freezer, and the next day, voila, you've got vanilla ice cream. And so we'll have that to serve along with the mini pies, whether it's if they choose the apple pie or the peach pie. I hope that they'll enjoy it. I think they will. So anyway, that's Sunday dinner for today. And I'm going to take off my chef hat now and put on my doctor hat for just a moment. I just want to talk with you guys about an alternative way of treating some of the problems that we typically go to doctors for. I have a lot of patients that come to me wanting something natural. They've been diagnosed with hypertension. That's a big one. And they don't want to take the medications because they have side effects. And then for some people, they just don't like the idea of taking medications. And so they're always looking for something that will help them control their blood pressure. Now, we know that exercise and weight loss is a really positive thing when it comes to controlling your blood pressure. But some people have high blood pressure even when they do those things as well. Now, this is not an endorsement for you doing something other than what your doctor said. But there are some things that you can do that are natural that can help you and your doctor in partnership to control your blood pressure. And specifically, I want to talk with you about hibiscus tea. Have you ever heard of that before? The hibiscus plant is so beautiful. I mean, I love looking at that plant. But hibiscus tea actually has some really positive health benefits, and it might be something that you might want to consider taking. Again, this is not so that you can stop taking your blood pressure medicine, okay? But you might want to start drinking this and let your doctor know and see if this has a positive impact on your blood pressure. So here's the deal. With hibiscus tea, it's very high in antioxidants, particularly vitamin C and beta carotene. And it is known, there's been some studies that have shown that drinking 3 cups of hibiscus tea a day can lower your blood pressure to the same degree as some prescription medications. So that's pretty powerful. But remember, we're talking 3 cups a day, every day. Okay, so it's not like you take 1 cup today and then don't do it anymore and stop taking your medications. It doesn't work like that. But it does seem to have some very positive benefits on blood pressure. And that is so critically important because the risk for heart disease and stroke is very significantly tied to uncontrolled hypertension. And so we need to take it seriously. And so anything that helps with that is going to be a positive. So hibiscus tea also lowers the LDL, which is considered the bad cholesterol. For women who are still menstruating, it seems to help them with their menstrual cramps. It helps to make them not as uncomfortable. It supports the liver, and that's really important because fatty liver is a huge problem in our society right now. And so hibiscus tea seems to be very helpful in liver health. And so that's a positive. And then also it raises the metabolism, and so it can help you with weight loss. So all of the positives associated with hibiscus tea. Not hard to find. You can find it online, find it on any health food store. Again, I would strongly advise you to let your doctor know that you're doing this, and that maybe taking this along with weight loss, exercise, meditation, reducing your stress can have a very positive impact on your blood pressure, okay? another way to try to help you. There are a lot of supplements out there that can be very, very helpful. And we have no problems with you trying them, but just make sure that you're letting your doctor know what you're doing, okay? Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.